Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having fantastic days, your trades are going in your direction, unlike this trade on the screen which is not going my way, but fortunately the stop loss is there to manage the risk and make sure I don't lose too much on it. So today I want to talk about Corp Equity Capital. Now I've done a few videos on them in the past where they'd first launched back in August, and we looked at the office setup where they're registered in the UK as a UK limited company, but all appeared to be based out of India, and all the things didn't quite tie up and match, so we thought it was a bit dubious on some of the claims they were making, but I've stuck with it. Back in October, obviously their website went down. We thought obviously they had gone bust, but alas no, the website was just down for maintenance and rebranding. Obviously they came back very strong after that one and launched loads of new products around direct funding as well as the challenge models which everyone's familiar with. Again, on my last few videos, a lot of people were commenting saying, yes, they are legit, they're all fantastic, we've been with them for a long time, but for whatever reason, YouTube was just blocking their comments, not coming through, and I think people were trying over and over again to get that message across. So based on that, I've actually been watching their website regularly. I've been in their Telegram support groups and seeing how all the interaction with the support teams is going, and I have decided to sign up with their direct funding. So as we can see from the website, when you actually navigate through, you have the funding program options. And here we have the evaluation program and direct funding. Now I wanted to try out the direct funding purely just to see how good it was, how reliable it was, and also interact with their customer support teams, because normally as a unpaid person, they don't really react all the time. But as I'd actually put money into it, I thought, okay, let's see how they actually react. So what attracted me to this to start off was that it was actually instant funding, obviously no evaluation process to go through. There was no target or time, obviously you can do it in your own leisure. It's a 70% payout profit split, which again is pretty good for a direct funding. And also do a bi-weekly payout, so if you do get onto a good trade pretty quickly, you can take your money out and be at no risk. Now when you look at the actual rules around this one, it's quite easy to see that there's no targets in place, you can do whatever you want to. You can sign up with two different types of options, a max loss of 7% or 12%. I went for the 7%, knowing that I was going to have to manage as much risk as possible, and obviously it's a slightly cheaper alternative. You can lose as much as you want on any particular day, providing you don't go over your max loss. And again, profits 70%. And the other good things around this is that you are allowed to use EA's copy trading as well as trading the news. Now the big point on here is the parameters. This is the key one to always be in place, and that is you must have a stop loss on every single trade, and also you cannot risk any more than 1% on a trade as well, which is catching a lot of people out because they probably calculate their risk very close and they forget to take into account potentially slippage or spreads or anything else with the actual broker, and sometimes their actual risk may be slightly more than 1%, and that's obviously a violation on the rules. And as we can see on the 7% drawdown account, they have everything ranging from $5,000 to $250,000 and prices ranging from $199 all the way up to $549.99. Now I went for the $5,000 direct funding because it was the cheapest, as well as a discount code I managed to get as well, brought price down even more. So I felt that the actual cost of this, even if the company wasn't 100% legit, then it's a risk I was willing to take to be able to prove one way or the other if you're actually getting payouts and they are legit. Now if you want to have more of a drawdown, so 12% drawdown on the actual account, then you can see the price goes up accordingly. Now for me, if you are sticking to that 1% risk per trade maximum at any particular time, a 12% drawdown is quite big, especially on these. You're almost better off going for two of the accounts of the other one and getting more options to trade with. But for me, I just went for the 7%. I thought it's the best option for me, but some people might want to have more of a drawdown. But if you're looking at the bigger size account here, a $250,000 account being $12,000 effectively to get that size account, it's a huge commitment on that particular account size, and I can't see many people doing that as a direct funding option. So as I mentioned before, the biggest parameter is the stop loss. As I say, it's mandatory to place a stop loss on every single trade. Now, if you go and trade at the market, you still have the time to go back in within 5 minutes to actually put the trade on, and failing to do so is a violation. What they don't say is how many violations you're allowed to have before the account is closed. I'm working on the assumption that one violation is one too many, so I'm working on getting a stop loss in as soon as I actually place the trade. And also risk per position. Trades can have a maximum of 2% of total capital risk per trade or instrument. Now, a lot of people are saying that they only want to have a 1% risk, so again, it's really worth looking at how this is actually played down, read the rules, and if you're really unsure, speak to the customer support team and get more clarity. because obviously any evidence you have of confirming what the rules are, you can obviously then go back and have that discussion with them later if they do actually come and say you're under a violation. So here we can see that to be able to make a withdrawal, the account needs to be in profit, and not just a profit, obviously making sure that any of the swaps and commissions are also taken into account. And also there have to be no violations on the account. So again, upon violation, no payout would be processed and the account would be suspended. Withdrawals can be requested every 2 weeks, and obviously you can get payout via bank transfer, PayPal and crypto. So again, a lot of other payout options, which I know a lot of the other prop firms are doing now. So it's always good to see that crypto's there as an option to get payouts. So far my experience has been pretty positive. Their customer support were very responsive back to some of the emails I sent them around some questions, and their Telegram groups always responding back to people very quickly. But there are still some drawdowns. When you actually get your account details, they put it into this dashboard, which is not very easy to actually find out where things are. And you then have to go into the actual account itself, and it still doesn't tell you any of the account information. But then by clicking on the account metrics again, you'll actually get the account logon details. It's not very intuitive where this was, and again the actual dashboard and the client portal area is still very poor, and I'm hoping that will develop over time. And the other thing I noticed was on the actual website where it says you can download MetaTrader from here. When you click on and download it, it's actually not the correct version to download. It's actually for a broker if they weren't actually using that time. So I had to, once I got my account details, find out what the broker logon was, go and find that one myself, download and install it, and then get working. So again, it would be nice to have more links to the actual downloads of MetaTrader in the actual platform, either in the dashboard or actually in the actual website itself, and say, okay, come and get all of your software from here. But these to me are quite small teething problems, and most traders will be able to work around that given the knowledge they've had with either working with other prop firms or knowing how MetaTrader works. We have to go to the actual broker itself and get their almost branded version of the application. So overall, things have been positive so far, but I will definitely keep everyone updated if I have any issues with payouts. I want to get into a small profit at some point in the next week, and that gives me the ability to then request a payout from them. Again, with the actual account size only costing $199, with a 20% discount as well, is actually not too expensive. And if I only be able to get between 3 and 5% back on this account, that's actually all of my capital back as an investment, and then we're into free trading. At that point, just go crazy and just scale this account up and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting concept with their direct funding, and I really do hope these guys are around for a long time to allow people to get onto the programs and get some good profits. But if they do turn out to be a bit, I say, less legitimate than other prop firms, I would definitely announce it here and let everybody know my experiences. So I hope you enjoyed today's quick video, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.